Finally. 2K subs. And Hato, here we go. Back to back. I'm so happy, man. I'm so happy. Change time of algo. Yeah, I check. Oh, yeah. Good point. I'll definitely do that. But nevertheless, big up the people them. What time do we officially start? That's a good point. Big up all the people them. Every single one of you in the building right now. We've got a panel show for you guys. We got Rob. We've got Jimmy. We're gonna talk all things Chelsea Football Club and Hato. Here we go, guys. Who's that voice? You already know who it is. It's Fabrizio Romano's. Everybody, love yesterday's stream. Big numbers in yesterday's stream, as per usual. So make sure if you're new here, you subscribe to me and you subscribe to every single person you're going to see below. Every single person's channel you're going to see on this stream will be below. So you've got the Bridge 258. You've got MLR Paul 2001. That's Robert's Twitter, by the way, where he trolls everyone. And then Jimmy Spliff TV is also in the building. So there's no excuses not to sub to the man them. There's no excuses not to enjoy the content. And there's no excuses not to hit the like button and talk to me about how excited you are about Jero Hato. Yeah? Talk to me. Yeah? Another win for the mighty Chelsea. But every single person who's in here early. Can you invite Yasser TV to? Of course I can. I know him as well. Is he here? Wonder if he's here. Big up Prime, as always, my guy. Chelsea champions. We get A in the background. He'll be joining in a second. Let's smash these likes, people. Let's get 100+ people in here in the next 10, 15 minutes. Let's get that done. Let's get that done, people. Let's go. But Hato, here we go, is among us. We finally got it after all this time. I thought it would never come through, you know. I thought it would never come through. It's actually crazy. It's actually crazy. It's actually, man, we finally got it. You know what it is? It took so long. But I'm sure A and the rest of the panel are going to want to talk about it. Everybody, before we let them in here, can we smash those likes? Can we do that? We check what they're on. Let's check what they are on. Be up everybody inside the building. And be up to A who's sitting there as well. Be up Ryan as well. It's Happy Hato Day. That's a good one too, fair. I rate that one. But hey, it's been a long time since the British Nation 258 was in the building, man. We haven't spoke for a while. We've been busy. But hey, what a time to be back on the channel.
Yeah, man. What a time to be back. Obviously, this one was expected. It's finally gotten done, which is what we needed at the end of the day. And yeah, man, just in time before we have a mini version of which is good.
Yeah, because everyone doesn't know. A just reminded me the players go back on the 4th of August, which I believe to be
Monday,
literally next Monday. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nights if you include tonight. So they've got 5 more nights off, and they come back. A knows they come back a bit overweight. Some of them not as fit, so they're just enjoying. They've had about 3 weeks off, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
Obviously they probably would have had what, 2 months off, so they've had probably like 5-6 weeks less than everyone else. But that's why Chelsea's going for a big squad. That's why we're going for a big squad. So I'm happy about that, and we're going to get into Hato in more detail when the panel joins as well with A. But chat, let me know what your thoughts are. We're going to get involved in the news right now. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribing to the Bridge. Are you closing on 2.5?
No, about to hit 3K. I'm only like 25.
You're on 3K?
Yeah, almost on 3K.
Hey, there we go then. There we go. 25 away. And I got 30 subs on my stream yesterday. There's no reason why the Bridge 2.5 can't hit that 3 rackers. So I'm saying, all celebrating rackers. Love to see it, man. Let's get it done. People them. But Hato, Gittins seems to be putting in the work. They all do. I saw. I don't know if you guys have seen the Lap was training as well. I saw the Lap training on his own. I've seen Gittins training on his own. A lot of the players are taking this seriously because there's a lot of options. Like, there's actually a lot of players.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, man, it's good to see that they're taking it seriously and they're putting the work, man. That's what matters.
100%. And you know what it is? We'll start on this. This is why people are excited. because Ahmed, I was speaking to Joey, I think the other day, and Jimmy or Robert even. Robert's been saying it for months, and there's genuine excitement about our season coming up because we haven't felt this way about our team and our squad in a long, long time. Where it's like loads of options, attacking options, midfield options, defensive options, squad depth, just won 2 trophies. It hasn't been a long time since we've done that. It's been a very, very long time since we've done that. So
I think it's because part of it is because I think we had a good end to the season. I think the players you brought in, I think are good players in a way, in general. Right? I don't think
yeah,
anyone here has qualms. We know we're probably going to be getting probably 1 or 2 more players into the team, right? As well that are probably going to be added. And listen, when you end the season well, it always brings confidence, right? Moving into the
yeah,
next stage, which I think is always important. That's why I always say it's always important, to finish strong. One of the things that I know there's like a saying that I was taught, which just escapes me, but it's always like, people remember you, not necessarily for what happens in the middle, but like at the beginning of the season and then what happens at the end, right?
yeah, 100%.
And right, that's what people remember most. And at the end, bro, we had a great end, so that's what you.
We got a super chat here. Bit up Mutt Yard 199. Big up for the super chat. Says Bridge Nation, do you live out here in the States?
No, I don't live in the States, mate, but thanks for asking the question.
Yeah, big up for the super chat. Is that a Thanos glove in the background?
Yeah, that's a Sunless hand. Yeah, I used to have it on the on one I used to sit on the other place, isn't it? So.
Yeah, that's cold. That's cold. Big up Mutt Yard for the super chat, by the way. Big up for the super chat every single time. Love for the love, G. Ches and Ahmed. Yeah, big up yourself, man. A long time since we stream. We stream a lot. We've both been busy on our channels. But Ahmed, busy or not, we finally got the Here We Go. How long are we waiting for this Here We Go, by the way? I feel like it's been like 3 years.
I think it's just been 2 weeks, to be honest. Like I think it's been
2 weeks.
Should have been really 2 weeks that it's been like this.
And I think it's only fair we announced it how it actually was announced, and it was David Ornstein who was first, and he dropped the news. And let's put it up in front of you guys, and we'll get I's thoughts right about now. So as you guys can see on the screen there, exclusive Chelsea reached total agreement with Ajax to sign Gerard Hato, subject to Ajax supervisory board approval, fee above 40 million euros plus Sedon. Pending green light, 19-year-old defender to travel to London for medical and join. And Ahmed, according to Secret Cell, I think Secret Source or whatever his name is, Chelsea fan, I trust him now, because yesterday I was like, I'm onto him. He's been saying it's been done for like 4 or 5 days, and I actually believe him. I think this was done ages ago. But
I think I don't know, like again, I've been out of the loop because I took like a little bit of a sabbatical personally, but like I think if I'm not mistaken, it's probably the thing about like whenever you do biz to like teams like Ajax, I think another one probably is similar is like Bayern, right? Obviously you're dealing about they're dealing like whatever the CEO or like the sport director. You come up with a proposal that he thinks is gonna basically be able to be passed by then like board members essentially, right? So it's always a bit more complicated. That's why it's a little bit obviously a bit more complicated, right? Sometimes like obviously when you're dealing with like let's say like a Leicester City and Manchester United or stuff like that, it's like sport director, like what he says goes. But when you've got like other guys, you have to also answer.
It's like a board of a room of people.
Yes,
so it's a lot more.
See, because like it's a bit different.
Yeah, 100%. And that kind of makes sense to why it stalled a little bit. But here we go. Then we got the fab bomb right after. Here we go. Deal in place for Ajax, 40 million euros. It's a long-term deal. I think it's 7 years. Medical and travel sets you booked for a talented defender. And then we got more news from Ben Jacobs here. I think he breaks down the cost as well, I think someone did.
Okay. I thought it was from David Ornstein's article, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was David Ornstein. I'll put it up on the screen. FIFA unsecured around 43 million euros, was about 35, 36, 37 million pounds. And yeah, it was always going to get done. It was a matter of time. I was getting a bit impatient. And even the Xavi Simons news, as we're going to get to with Nkuku, that's going to be interesting. But yeah, man. 40 plus sell-on clause, though. What do you think about the sell-on clause? Is there an intention for Chelsea to sell their players like that? Really?
I mean, realistically, if he doesn't pan out, we know how the club works. So, and I think Ajax, with the way we've sold so many of our players now, that we've brought on these long-term contracts who are quite young, for such a large profit, Ajax also is that type of club where they don't necessarily get that much money, right? Their money comes from their academy, the guys that they produce, and everything of that sort. So they themselves always need like some level of like selling clause, in my personal opinion, with the way they operate.
100%, 100%. And Chelsea, don't forget, guys, Chelsea always work 1-2 steps ahead. Chelsea, one of those clubs where they always do 2 steps ahead. And apparently, he spoke to Timber. I asked my best friend Timber for advice. He told me if I want to win trophies.
It's a meme. It's a meme. It's a
Oh, yeah, no. But it's just like,
yeah.
imagine he did say that. That'd be mad still. We pay 35.5 plus add-ons.
Yes, that's what Ornstein said as well. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good price, man. That's a very good price. I can see Rob nodding. Be like, Rob, MLR Pool 2001. Be it yourself, Rob, man. There's been minutes we all down together.
It's elite recruitment right here.
He couldn't even wait. He couldn't even say hello. That's the first thing he said.
Hey, greeting, fellas. Greeting, fellas.
Big up, man.
Rob.
Yeah.
Let me swap it around. You guys are stars. But yeah, like Rob said, elite recruitment. And this is the thing, A and Rob here. You will know this because I'll be consistent and you guys be consistent. Back 2 years ago, we've been saying it's going to work, like the team's going to work out, but people were just they just demanded it all up front. It was just weird space we're in. And there's a lot of results-based analysis, like, oh, we're 12th in the league, it's horrible. We just got slapped 5-0 to Arsenal. That was only what? Last year or 2 years ago? Whether it was 2 years ago. So things can change very quickly, Very, very quickly. People need to relax. You know what I'm trying to say. That was smart by Ajax to put it in there, but they probably have to wait 6-7 years for that money, maybe even longer. The guy's 19 years old. He's not getting sold from it.
Do you realize that's what we've done with pretty much every deal we've done? João Pedro had a sell-on clause. Gittins with a sell-on clause. Ajax, we're giving them sell-on clause so they can lower the fee.
Exactly.
We expect it with the anticipation that we probably never gonna sell these players.
And even if we did, because they're on 6-7 years and they're so young, the extra money on top of the value would cover that fee anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's not. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So you're still going to make your money, and you're still going to, even if you make that profit on top, you can make that off. So it makes sense in every single way. But Rob, what do you think about the price? The price is good, isn't it?
Oh,
35 million.
Top price for this young player. 19 years old, one of the best defensive, prospects in around in world football. To get him for 35 million, where last year, if you wanted to buy him last summer, you probably wouldn't touch him for less than 60. To come and get him for 35, 40 million euros essentially, bro, that's Renato Vega money. That's non-money. That's like way less than me. You know what I mean? That's it's just exquisite business, and
I think part of it is also that I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ajax themselves are not in a great position financially. So so you can always. So I feel like you can always take advantage of situations, right? Which the club has done. And then obviously the fact that no one else is coming in for him right now, right, which is also done to your favor as well, means that essentially they have you have more of an advantage.
It wasn't even that no clubs wanting to go with him, because he could have declared he wanted Chelsea. Yeah. So it makes it hard. It's like Isak. It's like he's probably telling Newcastle, "I want Liverpool." So Liverpool have all the bargaining power. They have to let him go because he's pushing to leave. But you can't hype the price up because there's no other suitors. So you're kind of stuck. And that's what Chelsea try doing with Maignan, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Like with Osimhen, we said to him, "Listen, no one else wants you. It's up to you, G." And he was like, "No." And maybe if we had Champions League, it might be a different story. I think he would have joined if we had champs, by the way, because I think we'd offer a higher package. But now we have the Champions boys, which is very, very important. Players like Hato, who last year might have gone, Liverpool's in the Champions League, they can offer similar wages. Now we've got the squad, the manager, the trophy behind it, and we've got the champs. That's why I'm not surprised we're getting these more. Yes, he's still young. He's a higher profile youngster. He's not like a youngster who came out of nowhere. He's been around for touted for at least over a year. Even saw last year, there was like Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea all looking at him.
Yeah.
So
No, I think
Yeah.
he's an elite prospect of a defender, and I think to get him at this price is quite, we just waiting for the perfect timing to kind of go at him to get at Ajax when they are quite low in bargaining chip. So there's
Exactly.
nothing they could have done. Like, I think they tried to engage Liverpool in a bidding war, but I think Liverpool knows. Yeah, it's Chelsea. We ain't trying to go. We're trying to go into a bidding war.
Tell you that again.
To fight one, we're trying into a fight with Chelsea for players because we haven't had that great of luck. One thing that I will say though, it seems like once we have a player, and once we have convinced the player to join this project, there's nothing. Bar Real Madrid that took Hoyson, but I think that what our directors are able, when I don't know what they tell these players for them to come to have this level of commitment.
Yeah, what do you think they're saying to them?
Like, they will not budge. Like, I want to go just to Chelsea and Chelsea only. Whatever they're telling in this PowerPoint presentation, long may it continue, because
Okay, let's be objective here, and Rob.
Yeah.
Let's be really objective, because us three can be very objective. We represent our clubs different ways, and we can be clear. We can say how it is. Do you think it's a mixture of like long contracts of money, family, the project being youthful, so like there's no pressure for them really? Like, obviously there's pressure in terms of the big club, but they're not expecting you to win the league tomorrow. And do you think that is the fact that you're playing with teammates your age? What do you think? You can go personally. What do you think?
Fundamentally,
Rob's right. Even Caicedo, he said no to Liverpool, just won the league like
I think
2 years ago.
I think obviously financially it's undeniable, right? Yes, they may be getting low wages, but over like a 7-year period, that's guaranteed money, right? So that has to play a part. I think secondly, obviously, when you're part of a project, you're getting told you're going to be able to compete with your man, and if you win out, that's fine. But if you lose out to that person, obviously you're not able to compete. The club will also help you out in terms of moving you on in the next year or two, so you're not necessarily losing also like footballing years or like progression years, if that makes sense. For if you're a young player, right? They give you 2 seasons or something, or a little bit more. If it doesn't work out, they'll move you on. And usually, a lot of these guys now are going to good clubs still once they leave for Chelsea. So I think there's also that, right? Which is that the pathway exists. If the pathway doesn't work, you still have a future in football where you can still go on to do good things.
Yeah, that's spot on. I think what we do is we present forefront. We present the foot. I think we present the footballing project first. So this is what the manager sees you. This is where you're gonna play. This is what we anticipate you. This is how we anticipate your growth, given a player of your talent and stature. But if it doesn't work out, not only you have the financial security going for you. Secondly, we are very good at moving you. First, we give you exposure. These are not players that are coming from Real Madrid or Barcelona, or these are players that are coming from Ajax. They're coming from low, club at lowest less stature than we are. And so, like, you playing for Chelsea gives you exposure, and from there on, if it doesn't, you don't work with us, we don't have a problem moving you to a club that of your choosing. And also, one other thing is, we are located in London. So the location,
I didn't think about that.
The city, the footballing project, the fact that we're gonna put you on a long contract, and on top of that, the fact that if you don't feel stuck, if it doesn't work out, we can we work something out where we let you go to wherever preferred destination you want. So either way, it's a win-win for a player. Like, we present you a opportunity where there's a win-win. If you want to make it here, we'll help you make it here. If you don't see your pathway here after a couple of years, we'll gladly move you on. But from a footballing standpoint, also, if you ball out, we give you a bumper contract the following year.
Rob, I'm about to say the same thing. So the only rebuttal they might give will be like, yeah, but you don't offer me higher wages. Other clubs are offering me that at the moment. We can say Champions League trophies. Let's say we keep winning. And then you could also say, but if you perform and you're 23 now and you're Hato, 3 years from now, you could be on 150K.
Exactly.
Yeah,
at 23 years old.
Not only that, but it is a matter of, we might give you 100K, and Arsenal might give you 150K, but we'll give you 2 or 3 extra years, guaranteed, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't work out, you can just sit there and chill and get your 100K a week for the next 7 years.
And Rob, they know they won't do that anyway. They know
exactly. They know they won't do that.
And I think one thing to add,
the extra insurance.
One thing I would add there also is that I think Vega is a good example right now, right? Vega, he came from obviously Basel, was a hidden gem. He actually was able to play at Juve. Borussia Dortmund is now even was after him at one point in time. He almost got a deal right now, obviously, as we're talking about in this window, at Atletico Madrid for a certain amount of money. So like there's clearly like, you know, if you're a young player, right, you can show up, you can announce yourself, but then you can go on to a big just as big of a club as Chelsea, bro. Like literally, it might not just not be obviously in the UK.
No, all your points are spot on. Literally sound.
And that's why. What? Is it trolling?
He might not be, because that fee makes sense. It's not a fab, but
it wouldn't news about this.
It wouldn't surprise you if they dropped it on the same day. It wouldn't surprise me. Like, I wouldn't be shocked.
No, I think with Xavi Simons, I'll be honest with you. He probably will happen Friday or something like that, or like maybe early next week, because I think the club is trying to move someone out first before they bring him in. Because because the way I look at it, I think the club is also like being careful in the sense of like they don't want to end up in a situation where we want Simons, so we bring him in, we bring in Hato, but then you know you start losing some ability to sell at your price range.
Well? No, you know what doesn't help? It's the fact Nkunku's on high wages. If he was
he's
on,
not just Nkunku though. Like even if even let's say for example, if I want to do 1 in 1 out policy, obviously Vega needs to go. Vega needs to go, then Hato comes in, right? But obviously with Vega, there's still like the price is known. There's like something like that for him. Then whoever's leaving for him, which is probably Nkunku or Jackson, you need to be able to get bids for him fast before we start doing this stuff. Does that make sense? Like you can agree with RB Leipzig privately. Okay, this is the deal. This is the structure. Here's the personal term agreed. We just need to hold on to it for like maybe a certain amount of time, but we need to move on someone. And I think with the Nkunku stuff, it's kind of like surprising that, you know, no one is still coming for him. You know, no bids have been made, because that's been a bit surprising.
We only got 4 weeks left. It sounds like a lot, but
I wouldn't be shocked if you get a Here We Go that says Simons to Chelsea and 1 player to RB Leipzig, whether it's Nkunku or Carney or somebody. That might be.
That might be.
That might be maybe what's extending, because we're not only discussing the value of 1 player.
Rob, you know what?
We're discussing the value of 2 players. Where
Rob, it's very. I believe.
Go on.
Yeah, the reason why you're right. Yeah, I believe the secret sauce guy. I believe him. So I think the deal is done, but I agree it's the other way going forward. It's the 1 in 1 out policy. They need someone. And they identify 2 targets from our team who suit their system and suit their league. 2 players have played there. And the player, I think Carney doesn't want to go Leipzig, and then Nkunku probably the wages, whatever. So that's probably what's holding it up. I think the deals are done. I think Xavi Simons is probably done already in terms of his side. Obviously, you're not going to say that, with Chelsea not going to announce that, because anything can happen, right? But yeah, I just think it's like A said, maybe next week, But then again, guys, like I was about to say before Rob spoke, the transfer window is not that long left. Like, the life goes quick, man. Like, 4 weeks already will go quick. Before you know it, it's the middle of August, and then there's a fortnight left.
For Chelsea, that's too long. That's long. It's long.
True.
I think probably if something isn't able to happen, obviously with like you being able to meet with Nkunku in the short term, or when like let's say the next end of this week, early beginning of next week, I think they will sanction the deal essentially. But you know, I don't know what's gonna happen in terms of then how you sell Nkunku, if that makes sense. But it's gonna be difficult afterwards.
It's true. We need to let him go because he's on high money. I was even checking Jarrah Hato's money actually. I'll put it on the screen right now. But I know for a fact that Nkunku's, I think he's on high. I think he's on 200 or just under. I don't know. It's a lot of money.
190 or something.
Yeah. Hato currently is on 19,000 euros. His contract's ended. That's why it says end here. Obviously, he's joined Chelsea today. How much do you think he'll be on?
Oh, he had 3 years left in his contract.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, true.
Oh, okay. Wow. 40 million euros. 3 years left on the contract. God, my goodness.
Yeah, I know.
Jeez. For a player of his caliber, 3 years left on his contract, and you're going for 40 million euros to the Premier League. Oh my
It's
God.
crazy.
How did Man United get scammed 100 million for Anthony?
It's because their board is opposite to ours. Someone said it the other day. I don't know who said this. Sporting directors are as important as your manager. You've got a bad sporting director, everything goes wrong.
Even more important.
Probably even more important. Maresca last season, those additions we all laughed at, and yeah, they're not probably Fez got his signing. Yeah, 100%. You saw me stressed. Jimmy was shouting at me in the stream. I could hear him shouting from the stream. But yeah, man.
The reason Newcastle is in the position they are in is because they don't have any sporting director. They're Eddie Howe, which was a decent manager, but the sporting director is they change him like they change the underwear, and so it's
mini fab update. He just said the contract is until 2032.
We all knew that it was a 7-year contract though, so this is not surprising to be honest.
So it's 7 plus. So 7 years, so 8 potentially an 8-year contract. Jeez.
Yeah, plus 1. Yeah, so yeah, up to 2033.
Plus 1.
Yes, 8 years.
Yeah. So 8 years, so you can get a good 5 years out of him before you even talk about contract renewal.
That's what I'm saying. Like we said before, we want to leave. That's absolutely fine. You want to go Real Madrid now because you're a world-class talent. Real Madrid, 70-80.
Exactly. Yeah. Plus we've gotten 5 good years out of you.
Now we can make double our money and pay the 50. The selling clause is probably like 15-20%. Let's assume it's like, let's say top end.
And I think it's one of them where the sell-on clause goes away with time. I believe. If I'm not
maybe. Yeah.
After 5 years, the sell-on clause is not on void. Sell-on clause is only good if you sell him within the next 2 or 3 years, or something like that.
100%.
Yeah, but go on. I was gonna say, having good sporting director who are have a vision and sticks to it. And the reason Newcastle is like this because they have no project. Like they had Dan Ashworth, they had one project, and then they brought in somebody else with different project. Now it's like there is no project going on, even though you have a decent manager. If you don't have a project or a sporting director to carry out the project, it is absolutely useless. You won't go anywhere. That's why every player wants. Isak want to leave. Nobody wants to join them. It's just incompetence all around.
Yeah, they've been rejected so much, and that's not coincidence. And I said on the chat earlier, people got confused. I wasn't saying Man United to have Paul, but what I was saying is, if the sporting director was strong enough at Newcastle, he would have got some signings over the line by now, because they have enough. I know they're not Chelsea, Man United status yet, but they still got some pull. The fact that we've been able to take none of their targets, like Rob says, because they haven't got direction. And in life, in general, if you don't have a structural direction, you tend not to succeed.
Do you think it's just that though? I don't think it's just that. I'll be honest with you. I think of them. I just think it's a bit of like, they've kind of been I was going to use a bit of a dodgy term there, but they've kind of been like sidestepped by a lot of the top clubs. A lot of the top clubs have decided, oh, we're not going to let that happen. Oh, we're not going to let that happen. Oh, we're not going to let that happen. Basically, right? And like they've essentially just been consistently sucker punched by the bigger teams, right? Obviously, City, Chelsea, and I forget another, and Liverpool, right? In terms of like
and United.
Oh yeah, Sasko. Yeah, I forgot Sasko's also chose.
Yeah, no. Both Cunha and Mbemo both were linked to Newcastle.
Bloody hell! So essentially, man, they've kind of, for lack of a better term, been.
And James Trafford.
Yeah, that's why I said Man City, because Man City got Trafford now.
But I think the lack of project, I think for me is the biggest one. It is because they don't. What are you going to present? You need to come to players with something. Like United might come and say, wages, right? Liverpool will say we'll come because we're competing. Chelsea will say we'll come because we got one of the most exciting young talent, young and upcoming team.
Yeah, what's their USP?
What's Newcastle bringing to? You're not bringing high wages. You're not bringing what are you
And like
bringing?
you said, Rob, the area. Who wants to live in North?
Yeah, you're not bringing the city. You're not bringing the high wages. You are not bringing any. What are you bringing me that these teams cannot offer me? Absolutely, like these are big teams. I'm not gonna turn them.
The nightlife is pretty good at Newcastle, so maybe you know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna turn them down because
that.
Newcastle. You need to give me a project. Like you say what you want about Brighton. Brighton can present a project and say, "This is what we can do for you."
Yeah, the Brighton will go. Listen, you know the vibes. You perform good for 1 year, you get that double payment. We'll send you off to another big club, and we don't mind that because you've given us service and you help our roulette.
Yeah, the Newcastle has no project. I thought they were doing
the Newcastle with this. They've joined the league. Jimmy, you know what it is? Piff joined at the worst time because when Chelsea and Man City had their ownership changes, Chelsea had basically a 10-year stint or more where we could spend as much money as we want and there was no restrictions. Man City had from 12 to about, again, 16, 15. It's 4 years to do what they can do. Newcastle can't do the same thing. So the only way they can stay in this position, is to get certain players who can help them sustain that Champions League. Then if they can get there for like 3-4 years in a row, then players will go, you know what? Cunha might go, you've been in the Champions League 3 years in a row. You don't offer the same wages as these, man. But I believe in the project and I can add something. Now, United go to Cunha, yo, we ain't been Champions League, but guess what? I'll give you 200k a week and we'll bring in 4 other players on 200k a week. We'll be there in 2 years.
But Chad, would you not argue though? Would you not argue that they would have been able to say that FFP and PSR do not exist right now?
Well, sorry?
If FFP and PSR did not exist right now, Newcastle would be able to do that, bro.
No, that's my point. That the fact it exists, it restricts them. What do you call it in outside economics? I always tell everybody it's red tape. Barriers to entry is what we study. So there's just certain things in businesses you just can't do. Yeah. It's just hard to get into certain industries. Like me and Ahmed become billionaires tomorrow, and we're not going to build another transport for London because you can't build that many tracks. It's important. There's no land. So because of FFP and everyone's mishaps, unfortunately, it's had a cucumber. So Newcastle, the only way they can do it is they sign like 3-4 Isaacs, and their team goes up.
They have to get creative, though. I think
100%.
They're trying to fly before they can crawl. Like from where they were fighting relegation, they should have taken baby steps, but they wanted to go and jump to be amongst the big boys straight from the jump. They should have been recruiting where Brighton was recruiting.
But let's be honest. But can I be honest here? It's Trafford. Trafford, listen, he's a good goalkeeper. I'm not hating on Trafford. But Trafford is not a bad target. Realistically, that is something that Newcastle can
No, they're good targets.
Even João Pedro, until we weren't even interested in this guy, for example, right? Until obviously, until basically towards the end of where he was still dealing with Newcastle, and then we thought, you know what, let's come in for him. That's when we decided to do it, right? We were thinking about him in May, and then we decided in June when Newcastle was negotiating with him and getting closer in terms of like a deal with Brighton, not necessarily with João Pedro, right? Then we decided we'll come in for him and get that deal done. So these guys, João Pedro, Trafford, who else were they linked to? If that I'm not, if TK, I can understand that. I hate that. That in terms of like that's a bit more competitive, fair enough. But the other two, even Sesko, to be honest, that's crazy. I can't lie to you. Sesko is crazy. Sesko one is kind of crazy.
Before Jimmy, I know Jimmy, he had a disagreement. So I want to hear his point of view. Are you saying that their targets who they're aiming for are good? Hey, is that what you're saying? Are you saying the targets they're aiming for are good? Is that your point? Because for me, execution matters more than who you target. So if Chelsea target Xavi Simons but can't get him over the line, I don't really care if you target him. if you couldn't get Hato over the line, what's the point? Like you identified him, but you didn't get him. So for me, execution is important as identifying people and whatever. Because in football doesn't wait around people, man. Teams just move on. Liverpool, you think Liverpool care about the fact Arsenal signed your credits? Go inside Isak. You know what I'm saying? They can't stand around and sit around. So Newcastle, the only way I can see them doing it is if they can land a few more Isak type players in each position, like goalkeeper, centre back, midfield, and they build the team that way. And then maybe, do you know what I'm saying? But let's get Jimmy's opinion on this topic, because this topic is the one that I wanted to speak about, because I didn't get to speak about it properly yesterday. On my own, it was a good stream, people. Then be like everyone on the stream. Jimmy is closing on his 2.5. A is close to 3 rackers. This stream, you can definitely hit that. And Rob is on 1.1 on Twitter, so we need to get him up as well. So can we definitely do that? Thanks for hitting me 2K as well. That's very good. But we need to keep upping the levels and hitting like button to subscribe more to people, them, yeah? And this topic here won't go away. Rob loves it. And it's just jarring. But I understand it, so I'm going to give my perspective I gave yesterday. Chelsea is still pushing to sign Garnacho, who is keen on the move. Man United are now wanting at least 40 minutes. Now the price is dropped even lower. It's dropped even more. So before it was 70, now it's gone to 40. So me and Jimmy and Joey and Rob's argument the other day, this is why I was in the middle and Jimmy and Joey were shouting for no reason. Because this was always going to happen. He's not our first choice, but we all agreed. Hey, basically, we had a little disagreement, but we all agree he's not our first choice or second choice. Xavi Simons is in Rodgers. But I think they want Garnacho as another left winger at the end of the window.
I'm saying we all agree. We don't all agree. Rob don't agree. So we don't.
No, Rob agreed with that. Rob agreed with that.
Listen, we don't know what's gonna happen with Garnacho. Let's cut to the chase, man. It's gonna be final week. It'll be the final week of the transfer window. Loan of obligation to buy. Oh no, that's what's probably gonna happen, right? That's what's probably gonna happen with him. It'll either be loan of obligation to buy, or they'll do something where they kind of meet the transfer, right? But it'll be like a 30 million essentially, because that's what the club wants to do, right? It'll be somewhere in the 30 million to get. That's just probably what's gonna happen. But it'll probably be more so what happened with Sancho. It was a loan of obligation. But Xavi Simons will have to happen first, and then you'll have to have some movement happen first, right? In terms of outgoings before we can get to that stage. That's why you continuously keep hearing is the end of a window looking.
Jimmy's shaking his hand big time.
I don't want him personally, right? I'm
well,
looking.
I was
my personal point of
what they writing in the chat. That's what I was.
Listen, I personally do not want him. I personally do not want him.
In the comment, man.
Oh, we all know. But we
it
all
ain't
know
nothing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Another day, nothing changed. I don't know. There's nothing to talk about. Literally nothing has changed. What's to talk about? Once again, we signed another player, and we're about to sign another one, and none of them named Garnacho. I don't know what we're talking
about. Okay.
All right, man.
It's all the report. Chelsea could.
No, they say.
No, but I don't like when Jimmy does this. Jimmy, are you saying you won't get him or what?
Chelsea pursue. How do you pursue somebody? What do you do to pursue them?
When you
hear somebody's pursuing, what do you expect to hear next?
I get it. We get it. But I want to know for Jimmy.
Ongoing.
I don't understand Jimmy's point.
I'm telling you, there's end of the window situation, though. So
Jimmy, are you saying it's not going to happen, or are you saying it's not happening now? Because we agree with you, but
I'm saying, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think it's going to happen because nothing's
okay.
changing.
So this is where we disagree. That's where we disagree.
Nothing's changing. Yo, already when it happens, there's nothing that happened that make me believe that they care about signing Garnacho. Besides, reporters keep saying it. That's cool. But nothing's happening.
There's a good example here I can use for Jimmy here. You remember Sancho, right? Sancho, we were actually linked with him quite somewhat consistently in the previous window. Yeah, we were somewhat
like this.
Wait, let me explain to you. Let me explain to you what I mean by this. Here. We were somewhat consistently linked with him,
it's true.
right? But we were continuously going for our other targets first. You know, for all of our major other targets first. At the time, if I'm not, I can't remember who we actually brought in order last year, but we brought a bunch of our guys in first, and then it was like the last 7 days of the window, the pursuit thing kind of stepped up a bit, yeah. And then obviously we started to hear about what's it called. It was on the last day of the transfer window where we fully went in for Sancho, if you remember, right? It was the last day of the window we fully went in for him. That's what I think. Garnacho's story is essentially the same. It's gonna be we're hearing about him here and there. We're obviously not pursuing him right now, as Jimmy is correct in saying. But as I've said before, if we are going to pursue him, it's going to be at the end of the window. That's what I said before. It's going to be the last.
No, but Jimmy, your point is true, but it's not. Like, two things can be true. Just because nothing's changed now doesn't mean nothing's going to change in the future.
I never
keep
said
saying-
nothing's gonna change.
Oh,
I
okay.
said nothing has changed from when he was supposed to be 60 million. Literally nothing has changed. Only thing they're reporting is, well, Chelsea might still want. Chelsea still want. Chelsea's still pursuing. I'm gonna say it again. That's hyperbole. You know who Chelsea was pursuing? João Pedro. You know who we was pursuing? The lap.
Jimmy.
You know who else we was
Jimmy,
pursuing?
you are wrong though. Something has changed.
You know
The
who else
price-
we was pursuing? Hato.
Mm.
That's pursuing.
Jimmy,
That's when you go. That's when you go. You go to a team. You ask how much they're gonna cost, and then you start the bid. That's a pursuing.
Do you think Jackson is sold this summer?
Do I think what?
Jackson is sold.
I don't know.
Do you think
Probably
it
not.
happens though? Do you think it happens or not?
I'm gonna put his tweet up again for Jimmy to respond again.
Probably not. Jackson, probably not. He's
Hmm.
running out of places to go.
No, he's
So,
not. No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Jimmy, there's one.
Do you think
There's a
do you think-
situation. There's a
do you think-
situation.
Do
Yeah.
you think Nkunku is sold?
Probably.
Why? Because we haven't heard anybody pursue him.
Why do I think Nkunku's gonna be sold?
Yes.
Because I do.
No, why?
Because Nkunku ain't gonna be. If we bring in Xavi Simons, which we're doing, there's no spot for him.
No, but you
I'm
saying
gonna
everything-
let Jimmy read this. I'm gonna read this.
You asking me why, and I'm telling you, we're spending 60 million dollars on somebody in his spot. That's what we're doing. So I think he's
yeah. I know that, but what makes you think that he is going to be sold just because you're buying somebody else?
That I just told you that. I think he's going to be sold because we're pursuing somebody in his position. Now, with bringing in Xavi Simons, there's literally no space for Nkunku. He has no game time.
True.
The two places he would normally play are gone. They're gone.
Why don't you believe the same for Jackson then? We bought two players in his position.
Jackson is the third fucking striker. That's clear.
And you just told me you don't think he gets sold. If
Yeah,
we bought
but he's
two
the
players in
third
his position-
striker. So hold on, Rob. You're doing dumb shit.
No, I'm not.
You're taking what I'm saying and you're tying it to what the fuck you want to tie it to.
No,
I
because you-
said, Rob, shut up and let me talk.
Okay.
I said Jackson probably don't get sold. What the fuck does that have to do with Nkunku?
Jimmy, you're wrong. Read this.
Because
You're
you give me a reason. You give me a reason why Nkunku won't
Wait,
get
we
sold.
need three strike. Let me tell you why. We need three strikers. That I know.
Okay.
We need three strikers.
Okay.
If we bring in Xavi Simons, we're overloaded where Nkunku is. That
Okay.
makes me feel like Nkunku probably going to look to be gone. He's
No
going
love,
to
man.
look
They're
to be
chilling, they're
gone,
chilling, they're chilling.
and we're going to be looking to have him moved on. We're
Okay.
overloaded in his position.
So you
That's
don't
why.
you don't think the club believe we need another touchline left winger?
I don't know if we think we need a touchline left winger, but I do know we can go without it. I know we don't have to have it. We could go without it because we have two other guys who are touchline left wingers. Because for whatever reason, you keep pigeonholing people in positions where it's clear that's not what the fuck the case is. We watched João Pedro play on the left just as much as he played on the right. We've watched Esteval play on the left just as much as they play on the right. And
Okay.
I know this. I know what pecking order.
What
Pedro
the-
Neto. You meant Pedro Neto, by the way, not João
What
Pedro.
Yeah, whatever, Pedro Neto. You know
What
what
do
I'm talking
what do we buy Gittins for then? Because we got
Gittins-
3 players that can play there. Why you buy Gittins
Rob,
for?
what you're saying is stupid. Giddens, more than likely, is going to be our starting left winger if we go by how much they spent and what we want from the left winger. He's more than likely, he's going to be given the first chance to be a winger on that side. It's not guaranteed, but he's probably going to get the first opportunity. If he goes in and he shows off, he's probably going to be right there because you just spent $55 million on a touchline left winger. So if he plays a game and he wants a touchline left winger, if Gittins do what he's supposed to do, I expect him to be the first choice. if Gittins don't do what he's supposed to do, I expect Neto to be the choice to go over that side. That's what I expect.
I think that's what he's always bringing Garnacho for.
No, what the fuck for? Garnacho's not coming here to start. Yo, you're not waiting down to the end of the window.
I didn't say to start. I said
Rob, what you're saying is we're bringing in Garnacho to be our second string player. I'm saying to you, no team is going to gamble with a player like that that's that important. Because what you need to realize is other people could come in to get him. So why would you gamble? Why didn't we wait on João Pedro? Why didn't we wait on Hato? We didn't wait on them because we actually
they were at the clubs actively pursuing them.
Yeah, because we're actively pursuing them.
Newcastle was actively pursuing.
No, you're not listening. We want them, so we went and got them.
Yes.
Nobody. Rob, you go and get what you want. What you don't really want, you'll wait for. That's just what it is. That's just the truth. You trying to make Garnacho more. What pissed me off about what you do is you make it seem like I said there's no chance he can't come. I was literally on this fucking channel arguing with Joey saying he can come here. I said that. There's a chance. It's always a chance. But if you're asking me if I think he's going to come here, I'm going to say at this moment, no. Why? Because the way they're treating it. And secondly, I'll say, if we do sign him, I personally feel he's down the pecking order. Why? At the bottom of the pecking order. Why is he at the bottom of the pecking order? Because the way they're treating it. When you have something prioritized, you don't treat it like that. You just don't. I'm going to say it again. Neto is a left and right winger for Chelsea. If any side he go out and start on, nobody's surprised. If you look at the team lineup and you see Neto starting left winger, you don't go, oh my gosh. If you go out and you see Neto as starting right winger, you don't say, oh my gosh. So I would not be. Neto is clearly top of the pecking order when it comes to our wingers. He's at the top. Neto's at the top of our pecking order.
I agree with you on that.
If Gittins don't work out and the left side is weak, I expect Neto to be there.
So that means Esteban starts on the right. If Gittins,
I don't know who would start on the right. It's so many different things he could do to maneuver it. By the
way, can I say this to me?
Palmer could go right over to the right. He could work out of that right side. I think he would do that. Have fucking Neto on the left and work Palmer on the right before he go and start Garnacho.
To be fair, you know what it is? I hate doing this, yeah. But Jimmy and Rob both making good points because what Rob's saying is if Neto has to move to the left, we haven't got a solid right winger yet. We don't know how Esfal's going to do. We're assuming he's going to be young. If he performs good, then this conversation is dead. Doesn't matter. But we're assuming he doesn't. But then at the same time, Jimmy's right in saying, hold on, Jimmy.
Evidence of what I'm talking about, though. I'm not making this up.
No. I'm not talking about Pedro now. I'm talking about Esteban.
Not Pedro.
When Rob says in response to your good point, which is fair, that Neto can play left, then the only right winger we have, out and out right winger, is Esteban. Palmer's a right winger, but he'd rather him in the half space.
I'm gonna ask y'all, the last 3 games we played in the Club World Cup, what position did Neto play on?
No, we agree.
I'll help you. He played on the left wing.
Yes.
One thing.
So what are we talking about?
So what I would I think him being, Garnacho being like a left back cover or like something like that. I think there's like a left wing cover. I should say.
Yeah.
Listen, the level of understanding I can understand.
That's crazy.
So I think it's too much about it.
Wait, what?
No, I think about it. But like,
twice. I was like, right.
Yeah. No, but I think for me, is there a reality that Garnacho can happen? Yes, but I think we also need to look at some of these players that we sometimes sign, guys, are also what we like to call flips, right? These are guys that the club are probably bringing in because they think, in a year or two's time, we can just, swap them around, right?
Absolutely.
And maybe they believe, part of it, this is me obviously like removing myself from this equation, in my own opinion, they think they can flip Garnacho in a year or two for some form of like financial profit, right?
Absolutely.
So there's the reality where,
Work out as a player.
right? Yeah. So there's a reality where maybe you're like, okay, he can be cover for Gittins, right? But realistically for us here, he's a guy that we can maybe flip for. Like, let's say if you buy for 30 million, 40 million.
Yeah. Hey, that's why I said to everyone in the chat, be up Jay, become a new member. I said to everyone in the chat, it's a win-win. If he comes in, he's going to be cheap. We assume you have Xavi
Like
Simons.
if Garnacho comes here, doesn't play a single minute, but does not misbehave, it's automatically £50 million.
Remember, when you give these guys these contracts, again, the reason why we give these guys such long contracts is because it maintains the value that they're at, right? So even if let's say he doesn't play the whole season, he's still going to be worth the same amount of money that you brought him for, bro. Does that make sense? Because of the contract and everything of the sort. So for me, again, I get from a footballing standpoint, do I want Garnacho to the football club? I'm pretty sure all of us would say no, not really, right? But if you look at it from the other side and the way the club is looking at stuff, there is some level of like logic to bringing him in. Does that make sense?
100%.
I agree that, but it's just he's not. I don't care what nobody say. He will not play no important role. Why? Because
I agree with Jimmy that though. I agree with you, Jimmy that.
Because I'm watching how they're dealing. Ain't
He'll be
no
a
club
bench
going
player.
for
He'll be a
what
bench
we're
player.
going for. Going to treat an important role player like this. We're gonna wait till the last week to try to sign him. Like, nah.
No, Jimmy. The thing is, I can see that he might not play an important role, but he can play just Carabao Cups and lowly FA Cup games, right?
That's the type of shit.
But if Garnacho stays here and is fairly behaving himself, everybody will say talented player. The off the pitch issue was a United problem. Therefore, his value goes up automatically. All we need for Garnacho to do, even if he doesn't play a single minute, is just behave. If he behaves,
let's not get twisted.
He
can score goals. He's going to score. If he plays Carabao Cup, FA Cup, he will score. It's not like he doesn't score goals.
Yeah, he will score hat-tricks in Carabao Cups or FA Cup games.
But Rob, when I say I don't mind him, people go, "Oh, yeah, he's terrible." He's not as terrible as you're making. He can score goals. He can get assists.
They're
Like
never
Rob's
as
saying,
terrible as people make it when they don't.
Of course he's not. Of course he's not. If he comes in and gets a few goals in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, helps us get a trophy because he helped us in the lower stages, nobody's going to care. And yes, you're right. Someone said earlier, we'll be singing his name. Of course he will be. We're trolling United fans going, we took your best winger for 13 million. It's football, it's tribalism.
You know who else I believe we're gonna go for as not a priority, but as an opportunity in the market is Mark Guehi. Because now Palace is getting more and more desperate to get rid of him. And they're asking for 40 million. Now, if we go based on what Palace is asking for, which is 40 million, we have a 20% sell-on clause. That's 32 million for us. If you get Mark Guehi for 32 million, the fact that he's going to be on a 6-year contract.
I can't see it though.
Because if they get Mark Guehi, that somebody has to go.
Yeah, it has to go.
About
long,
part of the thing, part of our issue right now.
Part of gonna go, and most likely Trev.
Bro, I can't
see it. This Trev thing, nobody's coming for Trev.
Yeah, no one's gonna buy him for 40 million.
Like, I think we need to realize, guys. Yeah,
well, let's Palace take him.
There's still a lot of people that need to leave, bro. Sarsi still needs to leave, right?
I hear that, but
if somebody still needs to go, there's a bunch of guys that we actually need to let go, by the way, right? Because it's all well and good us doing these incomings, but we also need to realize, there's the other side of the coin, where if we do all of our incomings right away, right, you lose a bit of leverage in terms of like
100%. Yeah. I'll keep Trev. I'll keep him, but in Rob's example. End of the window, Guehi's 35 million. We would all take him 100% because Farner's not.
Honestly, if you could do like a swap deal for like Trev and Guehi, send one to outside, right?
You can sell for Guehi.
But again, is that gonna happen? Is the question. I know Jimmy's gonna be asking the question. Like, they probably want more money.
End of the window, and that'll be like last 2 weeks.
My thing is this: only the reason why Trev is still here is because nobody wants Trev. If people really wanted Trev, he'll be gone. Trev is not a bum player. And so if you say give me 35 million something for Trev, people should be willing to pay that because that's what he is. But nobody's paying it because they don't, for whatever reason, nobody rates him at that level.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. I think that's better for us.
No, but for Trev, didn't we agreed a deal with Forest? I believe was it 2 summers ago. But Trev apparently refused to go because he was waiting for Champions League clubs to come in. I think it was Tuchel was a Bayern, and Tuchel was looking for him.
Right now, up to today, everybody can see Trev. Everybody see what he do. He's in the best form he's been in a while, and nobody's still coming in to buy him. Teams just don't fancy him for whatever reason. You just got some players like that, but he's definitely worthy to be the first choice center back off the bench for us. That's what I want Trev to be.
Yeah.
If whoever our starting center back go down and it's Trev that to come off the bench, I have no problem. If Trev got to play 5 games, I have no problem. If Trev got to play 10 games in a row, now I'm worried. But you got to play 5, cool.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
That's what Trev is. I don't want us to sell Trev.
Ideally, it's Fofana, Trev, and Guehi. That would be sick. But then I like Tosin.
I don't think how tight Tosin is with Cole Palmer.
Tosin's a baller as well. Tosin's good.
I'll be honest. I'll be honest. Fofana, man, I would probably just
Fofana.
100%.
Yeah. I hear y'all. They're not selling him. I'm not selling him.
I know
they won't sell him. They should.
This is my
They're not selling him.
If he gets another injury, I think the Chelsea fan base, they won't sell him, but we would all in our heads be like, he's not really a player.
Yeah,
like Lavia.
That's what the Chelsea fan base need to do now. Like, get him off your mind. Let him come back.
1 billion%. I don't really. When I see our first team, I don't even think about him. I'm like,
that's how you should be with him. I don't think about Fofana. I don't think. I don't think about Fofana, and I don't think about Lavia. I don't. Not until
we don't talk about them. Yeah.
When they come back and they play, when I see Lavia play 10 games in a row, then I'll see him like, okay, he's back. Even when he comes back and he play, I don't really see him as back yet. I don't. I'll be like,
Lavia is literally, guy. I don't know if you watch the games, and you're like, it's only a matter of time before he's on the floor, or they say, he's doing all this, or the game after we hear in between the game he's picked up a knocking injury. It's just too inevitable. It's just jarring. It's just annoying.
That's why.
And the thing is, I rate these players, but I can't bother with that. I'm not going to deal with it anymore. You get older.
I don't until Lavia.
Whatever. Lavia is rubbish. He's injury prone. Rivals. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. That's it. Like, Fofana's crap. He can never stay fit. You're correct. I'm not going to defend them anymore. Keep it real.
He played 10 games in a row.
Well, I say, man, where you at, bro?
Lavia is definitely better than Fofana in terms of ceiling, but he's such a baller, but he's just never fit. So what's the point? It's just no point.
The only thing I can say about Lavia is that age is very much on his side, isn't it? He's so
100%,
young.
That's what we're telling.
He's so young that you just hope that you know what I mean, something just changes. Like,
I want to say he's 22 or 23.
No, he's only 20. He's only 20.
He's 20.
He's 20, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
I swear he's 21.
Lavia, I think he's 21.
Yeah, just
21. Yeah, he just turned 21.
Okay, fair enough. So he probably has another 2 seasons of him doing this, and then maybe Fofana though. Fofana's been here for nearly 3-4 seasons. So this is probably his last season to prove anything. If anything, it's probably his last chance. Let's be very honest. He's better than everyone in this. He probably is the best talented midfielder, probably on paper, with Caicedo. On paper, he's probably the best. But I don't think he offers, even at his best, the same as Caicedo. I think he's very press resistant, probably the best midfielder press resistant in the league, probably, I'll probably say.
Yeah, he's one of the best at that, bro.
His ball carrying, he's got no ball carrying. He ain't a ball carrier. He's not good. He ain't got great strength or agility. He's purely a press resistant, possession-based passing footballer. He's not gonna run with the ball and body.
He's just one of those that receive the ball from the back four. Either gives it to Enzo or progresses it to Palmer. Something like
he's a 6, but he's not a destroying 6. He's just a technical, very
he's a technical and quite athletic.
He's athletic in terms of like his tackling is tenacious. He's very strong and what's the word? Frantic. He runs into tackles.
He got a bite to him. He got a bite to him.
He's even conceded a few dodgy penalties and free kicks. I remember last season the Liverpool game, whatever.
He goes in the pen against Leicester.
He got cooked. He gets scopes, but it happens, isn't it? But
yeah. I mean, he's young. That's gonna happen where he doesn't look too long on the ball
100%,
against Newcastle or against Fulham. But he's gonna by the time he's 23 or 24, he's gonna have that out of his game quickly, and you're gonna have top class.
100. By the way, no one's writing him off.
You expect that?
Yeah, we all want to keep him. By the way, all four of us want to keep him. We're just saying that he's very injury prone. Fafana's the one where I think everyone's like, yeah, he's cooked. But anyway, we're in the stream here. Be up Ahmed for joining the British Nation. Been a minute. We speak. Be up Robert Jimmy joining every single time. The British Nation is probably like 20 away now or 15 away from 3,000 subscribers. So push the British Nation 258 up that levels. Get Paul to 1.5k as well on Twitter. That's next target. And Jimmy's next target is 2.5 or 3k. Same as myself. Be like everyone in the chat, man. Here tomorrow night, probably similar time. I know you guys love these streams. Hopefully, Xavi Simons will get more news. Garnacho, I'm sure we're going to get some more news. But like, subscribe. Hope you enjoy the content, people. In a bit, man.